It's time now for French Connections, our weekly look at the intricacies of life here in France with Florence Villeminot. Good to see you. This week we're going to focus on what is usually one of the most popular cultural events in Paris, a yearly farming fair called the Salon de l'Agriculture, and it's been around since 1964. It's a French institution, but like so many things, it's been overshadowed by the ongoing war in Ukraine.
It certainly has. Now, it's nicknamed France's biggest farm, and in normal times, the Salon International de l'Agriculture, or expression du jour, is a cherished event on the cultural calendar. I know you're a big fan, Delano. I'm a big fan of the Salon de l'Agriculture. People were especially looking forward to it this year because last year's edition was canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. Regardless, it's still a big deal. Over a 9-day period, nearly 4,000 farm animals make their way to the French capital. There are all sorts of animal competitions, hundreds of food stands to taste all the delicious things that France has to offer. People love the Salon de l'Agriculture, especially farmers, actually, because it's an opportunity for them to show off their animals.
C'est un rêve de gamine de venir au salon avec sa propre vache.
C'est une fierté d'être ici pour représenter la race, pour représenter notre département. Et puis voilà, c'est quand même important d'être là pour valoriser notre profession aussi.
Now, the fair is a big hit. Each year, some 600,000 people flock to the fair to admire the diversity of French agriculture, a struggling sector that's bracing itself for the impact of the war in Ukraine.
Absolutely. Now, for centuries, France was one of the most dominant agricultural centers in Europe, but the profession really has been dying out over the last years, over the last decades. Recent years have seen a fall in the price of milk, cereal, meat. There have been increased regulations, a tough competition. Now, many farmers were already struggling to survive, and things are about to get a lot worse because of the war in Ukraine. French farmers are worried about a looming increase in the price of fertilizers, in the price of grain feed, and then, of course, the ripple effect of an increase in energy prices.
Évidemment, la crise ukrainienne va impacter toute la population, encore plus le monde agricole.
Le cours des céréales qui s'est augmenté de 25%, 30% depuis l'été jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Et là, ça a pris 20% en 8 jours, quoi. Je suis inquiet, bien sûr, c'est bien normal parce qu'on est déjà souvent à flux tendu.
Déjà qu'il y a de moins en moins d'éleveurs, de producteurs d'agriculture globalement. Si rien n'est fait, il y en aura encore moins année après année.
Now, another agricultural sector that's already being impacted by the war in Ukraine as well is the wine industry, which is, of course, dear to the hearts of French people. Now, with Russian orders on hold due to the sanctions and supply routes cut off to Ukraine, wine growers are really worried.
Tout va être fermé. Faut être clair, il y aura plus de business avant quelques mois ou voire plus, le temps que tout ça se calme. On est complètement tributaire de la politique internationale.
Now, when the French President Emmanuel Macron inaugurated this year's Salon de l'Agriculture, he warned farmers of tough times ahead.
Absolutely. We will be there for you, said the French president. Now, what's interesting is usually the Salon de l'Agriculture is an inescapable stop for politicians, especially in the run-up to a presidential election, which, remember, is just around the corner. Now, it's the ultimate charm offensive for candidates. They can cozy up with candidates, with farmers, try to woo the rural vote. And last time Macron attended the fair, that was back in 2020, he spent 12 hours there. But this year, due to the situation in Ukraine, it was a speedy visit for him. He left things to his prime minister, Jean Castex, you saw earlier. There you can see Marine Le Pen when she visited, because people running for president did visit the Salon this year. But it just goes to show how much the Salon has been overshadowed by what's going on in Ukraine. But so has the presidential campaign, which is just around the corner. But it's definitely taking the back seat in the news these days.
Indeed. Now, the war in Ukraine has upended some traditions, but some things don't change, and that's how much kids have a fondness for the Salon de l'Agriculture, especially little Parisians who don't know what it's like to be near a farm.
Absolutely. Sometimes you really get the impression that it's the collision of two worlds, city meets country. As I said, farmers really like this opportunity to be able to talk about their profession, to be able to talk about their working conditions. And for little Parisians, it's all about discovering farm life in Paris. They can get up close and personal with the animals. The Salon de l'Agriculture is basically a massive petting zoo, which is something that little kids like and big kids as well.
On voit des animaux par exemple les vaches, les moutons, les taureaux.
Tu veux faire quoi plus tard quand tu seras grande?
Agriculteur.
Je trouve qu'ils travaillent dur et c'est pas très bien payé.
On est content de pouvoir un peu revivre, reparticiper à des gros événements comme ça, c'est super agréable de voir du monde, d'avoir de la foule.
De passer un beau moment en famille, je pense que c'est super important, surtout en ce moment.
Ah, il est trop doux. C'est trop cool.
I don't know about you, Delano, but I would love to have a massive rabbit that we could have on set these days that we could pet.
In these tough times, we'll take anything to make us feel better. Thank you very much for that, Flo. And that's all we have time for in this edition. You can tweet your questions to Flo. The address is @FloVilleMino and check out our website, france24.com.